Miscellaneous minds, never explaining the minds. Devilish grin for my alias, aliens who respond. Peddling sin, thinking maybe when you get old you realize I'm not gonna fold or demise. I don't smoke crack, motherfucker, I sell it.
What is going on, everybody? This is the Miscellaneous Minds Podcast. I'm your co-host, Pumar Gato, the cat that hands you your receipts back. And to my left over here is the main man, Sister Nero, the man that makes the fat stacks. Together we form the dynamic duo that won't die. Daily ideas, broad and spicier content than your girls' only fans. What is going on, everybody? Before we get into tonight's topic, please make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit. And with that, let's get right into it. So, as I'm sure a lot of you saw, it broke the internet, as some may say. Katt Williams went on Club Shay Shay, and he dished, man. That motherfucker dished. He dished out everything. Let's talk about it. So look, listen. A lot of people are kind of taking this as that's a great way to start the year. You know, we should all be this way. Let's all stop holding back, spill the tea, blah, blah, blah. Listen, I'm all here for it, man. The truth is, I think a lot of the stuff, and I'll be honest with you, look, listen, I got my own beefs with Katt Williams. But as far as what he did, look, I'm here for it, especially because some people that he addressed in the videos have came out, and some of them have said, hey, he's kind of telling the truth. Not just that, but a lot of people in Katt Williams' life have came out and said, hey, look, a lot of the stuff that this man says, it's factual. You know, he's a nice guy. He takes care of people. He pays people that didn't really need to be paid, so on and so forth. So I'm here for it. I have no beef with what Katt Williams did. If I'm being honest, I think more people should be honest like that, just given the circumstances, given the era that we live in, where everybody's kind of bitch made. What you call it that? Everyone today is bitch made. I feel like everyone today is too fucking pussy. They're too soft, so on and so forth. And I feel like we need to get back to an era of truth and an era of logic. I feel like we need to start really nailing some people that kind of deserve to be fucking nailed to the fucking wall. Because I feel like when you let a motherfucker get away with some shit, they're going to keep fucking doing it and keep fucking doing it until you correct the behavior. I think this was a good way to start slowly correcting the behavior. The fact of the matter is, some motherfuckers just think that they can get away with everything. So I think if we all just collectively start calling out the people that need to be called out, I feel like this is going to have a lot of great success for a lot of people. Now, as far as some of the things he said, I call cap. I don't know the man. I can't speak for him. I don't know which parts of what he said is true, which parts are not. Again, some of the things that he has said have come out as factual. Some of them are not. For example, he said that he has an IQ of 163. Hey, I don't know. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not. Couldn't tell you. Some of the people that he criticized have come out and said that he's one of the most overrated comedians. Given who it's coming from, no disrespect to them, but my man, whether you like him or not, he's successful. So, for example, he dissed Faison Love, kind of saying, he wasn't like a big fan of the Big Worm character, didn't really think that it was all that great, given that his character didn't carry on for the next two movies, which I guess you can make that. To be fair, I don't think any, obviously besides, the main characters, Ice Cube, his dad, so on and so forth, and Day Day, I guess, in the end, none of them really carried over that much, but, it is what it is. For people like Faison Love to say, hey, Katt Williams is one of the most overrated, if not the most overrated comedian of all time, I think, my man, you should probably look in the mirror. No disrespect. I'll be honest with you. I've never seen one Faison Love special, one comedic show, but I've seen a few of Katt Williams. So, with that being said, what do you think about that, my man?
There's one crazy claim that I saw that about the claims that he made about, who was his name? Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart was probably the biggest egregious one that he kind of just like slipped past. And there were a lot of people that Katt Williams didn't even need to provide receipts. The fans basically put out the receipts for him. You can look at the amount of people that completely stole material, like Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey. I think those are the two biggest egregious ones. People have been giving out receipts for that because of the caliber of who they were and the amount of stuff that they stole, which was blatantly, like, if you look at it, it is blatant. Like, it is like word for word, like cadence for cadence. Like, there's no doubt about it. They actively stole material. Absolutely. The one part that Katt Williams kind of just skipped over, which I think was like a big story coming out, I think since like 2009, it was an interview that happened. Kevin Hart was on, I believe it was The Breakfast Club, and like way back then. and he was talking about Katt Williams, and he said Kevin Hart was the one that said, "Oh, the reason why Katt Williams doesn't get any parts of it is because, brother, you don't show up to the auditions, you don't show up to like any sort of rehearsals, and you would just go out and just go do drugs, and that's why you didn't get a call back." Again, wild, because at the time Kevin Hart was like pretty big. I think at the time he just got done wrapping up Seriously Funny. That was his big comedy special that was released in like 2009, and this is when he was getting started to get like a lot of more bigger roles. Katt Williams, when he went on Club Shay Shay, talked about this man did not do comedy as like a big thing. Like, he was purposefully picked from the Hollywood elites. I'll give some citations for that. Yeah, basically a plant. And I looked into it because I'm like, when did Seriously Funny come out, and when did his I think it was like Funniest Little Man, his first special came out. I'm not gonna lie, I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole, and get this, the very, very first role that he had, Kevin Hart, was lead role in I think some 2003 movie called Paper Soldiers. Lead role off the bat. There was no like comedy, like any training or anything like that. There's no getting his name up. Immediately, right off the bat, as soon as they went to Hollywood, 2003, lead role right there. Paper Soldiers, I'm pretty sure nobody really remembers it. It was another comedy that just kind of flew under the radar. But you know what his second role after that was? After Paper Soldiers?
40-year-old virgin?
No. It was 2003. It was Scary Movie 3. I keep in mind the other thing that Katt Williams said, and he levied this a lot of criticism against Tyler Perry, Jamie Foxx, other people that were basically saying, okay, well, they only got those roles because they were willing to do stuff that was pretty sus, like men in dresses, homosexual roles, blah, blah, blah. And that's the reason why they keep getting parts. And I wanted to keep my integrity up and not purposely do that, because I don't think being gay is necessarily a punchline. I don't think it's really that funny. Do you remember what Kevin Hart's role in Scary Movie 3 was? He was gay. They did a whole Brokeback Mountain parody in Scary Movie 3. His second big role where he got like his name up was a gay parody. Think about that. Exactly what Katt Williams said, which is crazy. And I actually wanted to talk about that one specific thing that you talked about, because the point that he brought up about his IQ being 165, for context, and he actually claimed this in a separate interview, way, I think around 2012. It was around the time that Django Unchained came out. TMZ caught up with Katt Williams and for whatever reason asked his feelings on it, and he said he wanted to slap the shit out of Quentin Tarantino because of his flagrant uses of the N-word. Again, you can have your feelings about that. I can kind of see he has a point. But in that same rant, he talked about having an IQ of 165 and being a member of Mensa. I keep in mind, for reference, the entry point for your IQ to be high at for Mensa is like 155. So he reaches 10 IQ points higher than that. Which, look, there's a couple of celebrities that are like publicized to have been members of Mensa. I don't think Katt Williams is a single one. And keep in mind, you could say, okay, well, Mensa's a like a California thing, like because he's kind of sort of blacklisted. There's a reason why they wouldn't put his name on it. There's a problem with that theory though. Mensa's a UK organization. Mensa is a UK organization. If he really was a member of Mensa, I want to see receipts for that, my man. Like, hey, look, this would seem like an inconsequential point. Like, okay, he lied about Mensa. Who cares? I kind of do. Because his whole point in Club Shay, on his whole thing of Club Shay Shay is, why would I lie, Shannon? Why do liars lie? I couldn't tell you. Well, look, you can show off that you are a part of Mensa. Contact them. Tell them you have proof of membership. It's a nonpartisan organization, apparently. They don't have anything against you. They wouldn't have any sort of reason not to publicize you're a part of it if you really did hold up the standards to it. So my thing is, if you really are a part of Mensa, I want to see receipts for that.
Listen, bro, I'll be honest with you. I don't give a shit about that kind of stuff. Again, the only reason that I even brought up the fact that it seems kind of sus that he is part of Mensa, or he has an IQ of 63 is, generally speaking, when these types of individuals have such a high IQ, they pursue certain avenues in life, the logical, the logistics, so on and so forth, to a pretty high degree, which I'll be honest with you, he didn't do. Now, don't get me wrong, I know that people of a higher IQ do tend to have, for example, alcohol problems, drug problems, so on and so forth, just because obviously I guess that there's a high level of depression that comes with having a high IQ. So I guess, obviously a lot of them turn to alcohol and drugs to kind of make up for the, the issues that they got to deal with. So here's the thing. I'm not saying I don't believe it. I'm just saying it's a wild thing to just put out there in the ether, and for you to put it out there, be like, I'm a man, I need to see some receipts. Again, I don't give a shit all that much. I think it's kind of like one of the very small underpoints of this whole thing. I'm really here for, let's all start really treating people how they treat us. Let's really start putting these people in their place based on the shit that they fucking did to us. And again, if Katt Williams has been treated this way by all these individuals for such a long time, hey, my man, good for you for standing up for yourself. But again, I feel like when we put a little bit too much power, a little bit too much faith in these type of people, these celebrities, these individuals who, for one reason or another, they might be right in column A, and because they're right in column A, they try to be right in column B, C, D, E, F, G, and when they might be wrong in all of those. Let me explain. We have often on here discussed a number of issues that people, celebrities in particular, have brought up, where they might be right about one thing. They might be right, and we agree with them, and we defend them. And a lot of times, go back and watch our videos, you'll see that we defend them. But that doesn't mean you're right about everything. And here's the thing. I mentioned earlier, I have my own beef with Katt Williams. Katt Williams is by no means guilt-free of any of these things. There's a show that he did here in Phoenix a few years ago, which a lot of you may know. My man came out with some racist shit to say. I have a beef with it. My man got his ass beat by, what was it, a teenager?
It was a 15-year-old.
15-year-old. Maybe don't talk so tough. My man is clearly out here abusing the shit out of drugs, or at the very least that was at one point, maybe not anymore. Listen, again, I have no beef with what he did. If people treat you like shit, you should absolutely call them out. You should absolutely treat them like they treat you, so on and so forth. I got no beef with that. I'm here for it. Katt Williams, keep bringing the heat. What I have a problem with is, listen, idolize the action. Don't idolize the man. Because the man is no one to idolize. And again, listen, a lot of people have come out, including, his ex-wife, and came out and said, hey, look, he really is a good person. He really is great. That's great. That's great. Keep doing good things, and I'm sure eventually a lot of what I may say about you might change. But again, there's still a lot of them wounds that we can't let go of. The way that he was speaking on Club Shay Shay, and I'll be honest with you, I watched the whole damn interview. All the stuff that people are picking out was stuff that came out right at the beginning, maybe within like the first 30, 45 minutes. The rest of it, I didn't see any people praising any of those highlights. And don't get me wrong, he talked about kids, he talked about the responsibility of raising kids, about growing up, so on and so forth, how he was homeless, about all that. He talked about all that. So I think people picked out, I guess, the drama portion. That's what they emphasized. But again, it was literally maybe the first 30, 45 minutes. That was really about it. And then after that, the rest of, I think it was like 2 hours and 30 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. Was not about that. So listen, again, I'm here for the action. Dope. I praise the man. I'm not so much here for the man himself. But again, hey, maybe this is a great man. Maybe he's just made mistakes like we all have. Let's give the man a chance to redeem himself. And he's on that redemption arc. One little funny thing that I saw, I'm a fan of Mike Epps. I think he's a funny motherfucker. Day. He came out and he said, "Yo, my man, why didn't you say some shit about me? I'm about to go on a tour. I need some publicity. Say something good or bad about me. I don't give a fuck." So I thought that was pretty fucking funny of him. Go check out my man Mike Epps. I saw him post that on Instagram. I thought it was fucking hilarious. But besides that, anything else you want to add to that, my man?
I think that's it for me.
And with that, make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and
until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you on the next one.